What's up guys, so in this video let's do a recap of everything that Apple has announced yesterday at the iPad mini event. So let's start by the most interesting, which is the iPad mini. The iPad mini has a slightly different design from the iPad. It has a 7.9-inch display with the resolution of 1024 by 768, just as the iPad 2, so all the apps can be also supported on this display. So the format is 4:3, so you won't be able to watch full YouTube videos using the full screen. There will be letterboxes. That's annoying. Anyways, it runs a dual-core processor, the A5 processor, just like the iPad 2 did. What they're trying to say is that it's a full iPad experience, so it's not a reduction but a concentration of the original. It's not going to be shrinking the possibilities you can have with the iPad. Next up, there is versions with 4G LTE, so that's pretty good if you live in countries which support it, and I mean, that's pretty awesome that it has speeds like that. It's only 7.2 millimeters thin. It's very thin, just as a pencil, they say, and it's also 53% lighter than the current iPad. Also, it has a rear camera which is 1080p HD camera, and then the front one, the FaceTime camera, which is also an HD camera, and that's pretty good. It's a 720p HD camera. The rear camera can also take pictures up to 5 megapixels. Of course, the iPad mini runs iOS 6 and it has Siri included. So now let's talk about the models. It has a 1632 or the 64GB model, and it starts at $349 for the 16GB model, and you can add $100 to get more storage and $130 to get the cellular data. So do the math. By the way, this SIM card slot is made for the nano SIM format, and also of course it has the lightning connector, which is now the standard connector for all the Apple mobile devices. Next up is the 4th generation iPad. The 4th generation iPad is basically just a little upgrade from the current generation, and this is what makes this iPad pretty old right now, and that's pretty annoying. Anyways, it has a A6X processor, so now the iPads are going to be ahead of the iPhone, as it wasn't before, and now the iPads will have a better processor each time they upgrade both devices. So this new A6X processor boosts the graphics of the next generation iPad, the 4th generation, to up to 2 times. It has a FaceTime 720p HD camera. Finally, you can FaceTime in HD. And then it has a lightning connector, which is of course the standard. And there is no price change. It's really the same price for every single model. The pre-orders of the iPad mini and the 4th generation iPad, they start this Friday, so the Friday, October 26th. And if you want, you can stand in line and buy it in the store next Friday, November 2nd. Next up is the new MacBook Pro 13-inch with Retina display. Yes, they finally did it. They also added the 13-inch model to the Retina display MacBook Pro. So now it's thinner than it's ever been. It has a new processor. It has new graphics, of course, and everything pretty much has been upgraded. The resolution of the screen is 2560 by 1600, and it starts at $1699 with a 2.5 GHz processor and only 128 GB of storage. Of course, it has a FaceTime HD camera as it had before. It has the new stereo speakers. It also has USB 3 ports, so you can really transfer files faster if you have stuff compatible with it. It doesn't have an optical drive, but I think it's not really a miss because you don't really need a drive these days. And the most exciting thing about it is that it's available starting today. Next is the new iMac. This is freaking amazing. Alright, so this new iMac has an incredibly freaking thin display. It's not only a display, it's also basically a computer, which is that thin. It's really impossible to imagine, but it has a brand new design. It's 80% thinner. You can only imagine what 80% is. The display also has less reflection, and it's thinner, of course, to make the whole device thinner. So I really love it, and I think I'm going to get it as soon as I can. So of course it has a new processor. It has the Ivy Bridge i5 processors from 2.7 GHz quad core to 3.2 GHz quad-core processor. It's also customizable to Intel Core i7, but I'll guess you'll have to pay a lot of money for that. Not only got new processors, but new NVIDIA graphics, starting from the 512 megabytes of memory. So it's really a computer that you can buy for gaming, for example. There's 1 terabyte of storage on all models, and the most exciting thing, I guess, we'll see in this iMac is the Fusion drive. Now that's Apple's new technology, which actually combines the HDD drives and the flash storage, and it makes it a perfect mix to, you know, work with your computer. It makes it a lot faster, and all the processors which you don't really need right now, they move to from one to another to just, you know, make everything faster and copy files faster and boot faster. That's basically what Fusion Drive is. Next, it has a FaceTime HD camera. It has dual mics, so the person listening to you with FaceTime can hear you better. Of course, it runs the OS X Mountain Lion, and it starts at only $12.99, which has no Fusion Drive, unfortunately. And you can see more prices and also processors and stuff like that on this picture right now. 21-inch model ships in November, and the 27-inch model ships in December. So next up is the iPad mini. This is the pretty much last thing that we're gonna cover in this recap. So of course they just upgraded the Mac mini with all the new graphics and processors. I'm not gonna really cover all that in this recap, but you can see it on their website. They basically added new processors for all models and also new graphics and stuff like that. It now has USB 3 ports. It has no design change at all, so it's practically the same little box that you have under your display. It also ships today, so if you were waiting for the Mac mini update, then go ahead and check the Apple Store on their website and buy it right now. At the event, they also played a bunch of videos, ads, commercials, and they also like product reviews and stuff like that, and also the iPhone 5 launch video. Apple has also mentioned a lot of stats about their devices. For example, there have been 100 million iPads sold in 2.5 years, and that's pretty good. Also, 5 million iPhone 5s have been sold in the first weekend, and this is only in the countries where it launched the first weekend, so that's pretty amazing. I mean, this is a whole bunch of devices, 5 million. They've also made fun of like several manufacturers, like they told that there were more iPads sold in 2.5 years than any PC manufacturer sold computers in ever. If that makes sense what I just said. And they also made fun of like the Android tablets. If you guys are interested in watching their full keynote, I'll leave a link in the description so you can check that out. It's also on their homepage at apple.com. Also, if you want to go ahead and participate in my earpods giveaway, you can click here. I'm giving away a brand new pair of earpods to one lucky person, and let's see who it is. So make sure you participate. So I really thank you guys for watching this video. Please don't forget to leave a like down below, and I really appreciate it, and it helps me out a ton. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.